So, today, I rounded up some of my old favorite nostalgic Nintendo memorabilia, and I'm excited to show it off to you here. If you grew up playing any sort of Nintendo games, I'm sure these will bring back a lot of good memories for you. And if not, that's okay too. Hopefully, you'll enjoy the artwork and the tracing and the sounds. So, this first item here, as you can read, is Pokemon Platinum. So, this was actually the very first Pokemon game I ever played. I don't know what exactly or when exactly this game came out, but I believe I first played it around 2010 is my best estimate. So I got my first DS, which I have here to show later, as a gift from my uncle, who had outgrown it and wasn't using it anymore. And he gave it to me when I was pretty young still. And I just remember how excited I was. And it came with some kind of, I don't know, like clubhouse game, and it had like chess and other things built in that you could play on there. But I didn't care about that. I just wanted to buy Pokemon. I don't really remember how I knew about the games. Probably from the anime is my best guess. But I remember being so excited. And I went out with my parents to get Pokemon Platinum soon after. This exact one that you see here. I played this game quite a bit. I remember choosing my first starter Pokemon. I chose Turtwig, and I just named him the letter D. I assume I picked that because it's the first letter of my first name. But I still have that same Turtwig, fun fact. I've transferred him up throughout the generations. And I remember choosing Turtwig. Now he's a Torterra. And I remember the game being pretty hard for me as a kid, and having my friends help me with it sometimes. I doubt it would be that hard for me anymore. But I had a lot of good memories playing this game. And here on the cover is the main Pokemon from the game. This is Giratina. He's sort of the final boss, or legendary, of this version. This is him in origin form, where he loses his legs that he would usually have, and he gains these frilled sort of wings that are very ominous looking. Giratina has always been one of my favorite Pokemon, and I think Platinum being the first game that I had played from the franchise kind of has helped him to stay as one of my favorites. Not to mention him being a dragon type, which have always been some of my favorites too. So, this here, as I said, is my first game, so I have a lot of good memories with this one. And this one comes from Generation 4 of Pokemon, where the starters were Piplup, Chimchar, and Turtwig. This is who I was talking about just before. And here's Giratina toward the end of the game. You get to battle him, looking incredibly ominous. Here's a shot of you riding a Piplup boat. I don't really remember this, to be honest. It's been too long. Here's a battle scene of their trainer using an Infernape to fight Giratina. The Infernape looks to be, I think this is level 60 versus a level 47 Giratina. So, this is Pokemon Platinum from Generation 4. I forgot to mention, I have this little clay cat here. I've been trying to come up with a name for it. I think it's pretty adorable. So, if you have any name suggestions, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Okay, I have a lot more to show you, so I might go a little bit quicker. This here was my favorite Pokemon game as a kid. This is Pokemon Black. On the cover here is Reshiram in all his glory. And this game was so much fun for me. I played this with my friends a lot, especially in the summers. And I loved the music for this game. If you've played it, you know what I'm talking about. The tracks from this game are super nostalgic for me. And I can't wait for them to hopefully make a remake of this game. I think that would complete my life. That's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but I will be really excited. Let's peek at the back. Oh, look at that. So, again, we have our starters here. This is Snivy, who I chose most often. This is Tepig. We have Oshawott here. This mysterious man with the green hair, his name is N. And he is he's definitely one of the main characters in this game. And he's kind of a good guy and a bad guy in the story. This game integrated seasons into it, so here's the game in spring, or maybe summer, and here it is in fall. I remember always liking to see how everything looked different depending on the season. Behind our protagonists here, you can see what I think is Castelia City. Yeah, with the docks and the big tall buildings. The Unova region is where this game takes place, and it's based on the United States. So, I think the city is somewhat modeled after New York. Okay, let's take a look at another game. Let's take it back a little bit in time. So, this is my collection of Game Boy games here. I received most of these as a gift and haven't played all of them. But I still wanted to show them off. So, we have an old Aladdin Game Boy game. Here's a Batman game. And a Godzilla game. peek what's behind it. We have Pokemon Blue and Red. And this here, what is this? I have never played this. I'm not exactly sure what this is. If that's a game that you're familiar with, please enlighten me. We have Pokemon Silver, an old Superman game, Pokemon Yellow. And last but not least, we have Blade, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Pokemon Gold. You know, this is going to go over 20 minutes. I just realized. Well, let's stick around. Let's tap on Pokemon Red, just because this game is so classic. Look at the old artwork. It looks fantastic. Okay. Let's put that aside. I'm going to go ahead and move these old games off to the side too. Okay. This here was one of my prized possessions as a kid. This is a Pokemon bag that you could put whatever gaming device was current in. I believe it came out around the Game Boy era, but I always used it for my DS. It had a bunch of pouches. There's nothing in here, but you could put a charging cord in here or anything else. There's another Velcro pouch here that you could put anything you like in. There's a zip pouch here. That might be good for loose games. And then this one, buttons closed. And in here, I put my first DS here. Gosh, look at this thing. Looks ancient, doesn't it? This was the coolest thing to me as a kid. I had so much fun with this. You could play Game Boy Advance games down here. You can play DS games back here. It's kind of a tank, really. It's kind of a big clunky device, especially by today's standards. Okay. see. A bit of an upgrade for this. Here is my 3DS. Even that sound brings back memories of it opening up. This was the new 3DS. The difference was it had this little pad here that you could move camera angles around with. You had the D-pad down here. And then this circle pad here that you could move any direction with. I chose to get the red one because I liked the color of this a lot. And here you could adjust how 3D picture was. This one could only play, or maybe it's down here, DS games. Let's see what I have in here right now. Pokemon X. Nice. And I kept these charms here of a luxury ball and a premier ball. Okay. I have another bag here to show you. This one is from the gold and silver era of Pokemon, with Lugia embroidered here on it, looking pretty majestic. Similarly, it had the Velcro and zipper pouches, and here I stored my Game Boy Color. I always liked how they had Pichu and Pikachu here on the sides. It made everything look so fun. This one's a lot simpler than the other devices. Just A, B, 4 directions, start and select. This one's pretty straightforward. That's my Game Boy Color. A bit before my time, but I bought one because I liked the games for it. Let's take a look at a few more things before we call it a night here. This is a really cool tin that I'm not exactly sure where I got, but it features Zapdos here, Electabuzz, Jolteon, and Pikachu, and a lightning bolts coming out in every direction. And the slogan right here, gotta catch 'em all. Let's take a peek at what I've stored in here. Oh my gosh, This is where my Pokemon Emerald was. I was wondering where this went. Looks like I have a few different games in here. This is Pokemon Emerald. I think this is Sapphire. Oh, here's that Clubhouse game I was telling you about earlier. We have Mystery Dungeon, Explorers, oh gosh, I don't remember. Explorers of Darkness, and then we have Mystery Dungeon, Red Rescue Team for the Game Boy Advance. That was a nice little find. So, let's see. What else? Okay, it wouldn't be a Nintendo video without something Mario. I know it's been a lot of Pokemon so far, but that's mostly what I played growing up, so don't be too upset. But do have something Mario. This was the main Mario game for the Nintendo DS. This one was quite a bit of fun. It was a pretty standard Mario game, but was, well, it was for the DS, so I guess that's what made it special. Let me know what, or if any, video games you played growing up. I'm curious to know. Did you guys play any sort of Pokemon, Zelda, Mario, maybe Metroid, anything else Nintendo? Did you play Smash Bros? Let me know. I'm curious. We have the red mushroom here. We have a flying Koopa up here. Of course, Mario and Luigi and some Goomba around the screen too. Rated E for everyone. Let's look at the back. Okay. There's some pictures there from some various levels. This one looks to be in an ice world. And this one, Mario's very, very big. This looks to be a mini game of some sort. And here is Mario toward the end of the level. You can see the flag right there. So, that is everything that I have for you today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. It went a bit longer than I said it would, but I hope you've taken that as a time to relax and enjoy and maybe get a little bit of nostalgia in your day. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment if you enjoyed, or letting me know any video games that you played as a kid, or if you have a name for our friend here. I'd like to know. So, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.